I would say yesterday we had a look at the proxy management functionality, right? Also, we had a look at while you are importing and exporting your employee data file, the UDF file. So what kind of option that we have, those things we had a look at it. And in today's sessions, what we are going to discuss is like basically we are going to discuss on the route map and rating scales, guys. And these, let's talk about the rating scale, guys. Where your rating scale is going to be useful is, especially it is going to be useful in your performance and goal management. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean, guys, we haven't started goals and performance management, but we are still in the introduction to mastery, and your rating scales are like things that are specific to your platform. And before you go to your goals or performance management, right, you have to understand that how you are going to configure your rating scales. So, and as I told you, especially these things are going to be useful in your performance and goal management module. And basically, like, they are useful in order to rate yourself, or if your manager wants to rate you, right? Say if the organization wants to use a rating scale, which is like 1 to 5, where 1 is going to be the least value or the lowest rating, and 2 might be the highest or good value or good rating. So where you are going to configure these things like that, it's not only 1 to 5, you can configure your own rating scales and you can define your own step size as well, guys. Here you can see if you start your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Here you can see that the step size is 1. And say if you go from 1 to scale, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you start from 1, 3, 5, here you can see the step size is 2. So like that, you can vary your step size as well. So where you are going to configure your roadmap, and I'll show you how you are going to use this in your performance and goal management module, guys. So first thing, like in order to configure a new rating scale or to see the existing rating scales, you have to go to your, are you able to hear me, guys?
Yes, Raghu, you're loud and clear.
Okay.
Yes, Raghu, I can hear.
Okay.
Yes, Raghu, I'm able to hear.
Rupesh is not able to hear me. So in order to configure your rating scales, so you have to go to your administration tools. Once you go to the administration tools, right, go to your company settings, guys. Here you can see there is an option called as company settings. So if you go to your company settings, here you can see there is an option called as a manage rating scales. Here you can see here rating scales. So click on this rating scales, guys. Select this rating scales. And here you can see all the existing rating scales in your organization, guys. The things that has been created so far in your organization, you will be able to see here. And it is up to you whether you want to modify an existing rating scale or if you want to create a new rating scale, you can go ahead and do that. So let me show you how an existing rating scale looks like. Then we'll create our own rating scale, guys. You can see here there is a rating scale with the name rating. And here you can see someone they started and they didn't added any ratings here, guys. They just created that and they didn't added anything as such useful here. Let me go back here. Yeah, here you can see. So this is a rating scale. You can see here there are ratings from 1 to 9, which means that they selected a scale of 1 to 10 and with an increment of 2 here. You can see here, and you can go ahead and define your own label and description. Usually if you are going to add it from the standard SuccessFactors library, right, that will show you the description and everything by standard. But if you're creating something on your own from scratch, then you have to populate the label and the associated description for this rating scale, guys. And you can edit the rating scale as in whatever the fashion that you are interested. Let's say if you want to update your description. You can go ahead and do that, and you can save this thing, guys. So like that, you can change the existing rating scale, guys. You don't have any problem. Only thing, like if you have your admin access, you are good to go ahead and do any sort of changes. And let me show you creating a new rating scale. You can see here, if you are interested in creating a new rating scale, click on create new rating scale, and you can see here, the moment you selected click on new rating scale, the things has been auto populated here. And you can see the default is like, it is showing the default from 1 to 5, where 1 is the lowest rating and 5 is the very good or the highest rating. And if you want to change it, you can go ahead and change it, guys. There is no problem. But say, if you are not interested in a rating scale of 1 to 5, rather you want to build your own. And you can see here, click on that, select what is your lowest rating, say 1, and what is your highest rating, say 20. And increment scale is going to be like, say 4. Click on generate, guys. And here you can see, this is the rating scale that I created with 1 to 20 scale with an increment of 4 steps for each and every score here. And you have to provide your own rating, say like that. And you have to populate this label and description, guys. It's up to you. And click on save, guys. That's it. You're done with respect to creating a new rating scale, guys. You can go ahead and create a number of rating scales. There is no problem. And if you are not interested in using an existing rating scale, you can see here, say if you are not interested in using these things, you can just go here and click on select delete option, guys. You see, so everything is going to be deleted from your system, and there is no way of recovering these deleted items, guys. Until unless if you go back to your SuccessFactors support team, you will not be able to do that. And so you created a rating scale, but where you are going to use, as I told you, you are going to use in the goal management and performance management. But how you are going to use that? Where is that configuration point, or where is that integration point? So in order to tie your rating scale with performance, say if you want to tie your rating scale with your performance management template, because your SuccessFactors system is a form-based system, guys. Everything, whatever the thing that you want to create in the system, right, whether it is a compensation or goal or performance, in fact anything, guys, it is going to be through a template. So template is the base for you, and based on the template you are going to launch the individual forms to the employees. So you have to assign this rating scale to a template. Say if you are working with the performance plan template, you have to assign this rating scale to a performance plan template, and that template to whomever you are going to launch the template as a form, right? All those will be able to see the rating scale that you define inside that particular rating scale, guys. So let me show you an existing performance plan template, then we'll move on, guys. 1 second, guys. Give me a second, guys. Let me find it out. Let me proxy into Marla Gibbs. I'm just proxying to another user account, guys, so that I remember, like, she got some performance plan templates where we can see the rating scales. If you go to the performance management module of Marla Gibbs here, yeah, you can see, guys. So this is one of the performance plan template, or I can say the performance form, because template is the one that administrator is going to work, guys. Just remember, guys, we are going to work on the templates, and these forms in your starting from your goal management module. But just to make sure that you understand this, so template is the one that administrator is going to configure, and based on the template, right, you are going to launch the individual forms to the employees. So the things that you are going to place on the employee's account is nothing but a form, guys, and the form is the thing that employees are going to work, like say updating their self-review comments, or providing their self-review ratings, or say if you talk about a manager, so manager might be giving you review feedback, updating his own comments, or providing the management evaluation ratings. So those kind of things are going to be done by the employees. So you can see here the form that you are seeing here has been launched to an employee, and that employee name is Marla Gibbs here. So here you can see where you will find your rating scales is nothing but, you can see here, this is your rating scales, guys. So earlier it was in a drop down menu, and with the PM V12 version of your performance management module, it has been changed to these kind of stars. But earlier it was like a drop down menu, guys. I'll show you how to move back to your old version, but time being, you can see here how your ratings are displayed. Like this is like, so whatever the text that you kept here, right, you can see here meet expectations. If you select 3, it is showing us meet expectations, exceed expectations, and you can see substantial exceed expectations. Like that it is going to be. And here this is the place where you are going to provide your own comments for that particular goal. So, but how this rating, see here you are seeing a scale of rating scale of 1 to 5, but why we are seeing only a rating scale of 1 to 5 instead of say 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 or 1 to 50? Because this performance plan template might be tied to a rating scale where the rating scale has been configured from 1 to 5 with a step of 1, guys. So where you are going to assign that rating scale? So you are going to integrate the rating scale with a performance plan template under your administration tools, guys. Let me show you that. Let me become self here. If you go to your administration tools,
navigate again. The system, my screen was freezed. Actually, I could not follow you.
okay, yeah, let me show you. So what I did is, like, I went to the Marla Gibbs account, Nirmal, and I just opened a performance plan template that Marla Gibbs is currently working on, and I showed how your rating scale look like for an end user. So from an end user perspective, how the rating scale looks like is, if you go to the performance management module of Marla Gibbs, open any of this form that is pending with Marla Gibbs.
Okay.
Yeah, here, this is how I went here, and you can see here your ratings are being represented as stars here.
Okay.
Yeah. So how you are going to integrate your rating scale with the performance plan template, or in fact like anything is right, go to that particular template. So whatever the template that you are working, right, go to that particular template. Here we are, as we are talking about performance plan template, right, go to your performance management template, and the navigation is go to your admin tools. From admin tools, go to performance management module here, and here you can see there is something called as manage templates. So your administration tools, under the administration tools, go to the performance management. Under the performance management, go to the manage templates. And here you can see this is your performance management templates, and all these are the existing performance management templates that has been configured in your organization, guys. And if you open any of this existing performance plan template, let's say if you are interested in opening 2015 December performance plan, and I'll talk about all these things when we move on to the goals and performance management template, guys. But let me show you where you are going to integrate that. Yeah, here you can see under the general settings, you are in the performance plan template with the name 2015 December performance plan. And if you go to the general settings, you can see there is an option to integrate your rating scale. So if you notice, guys, these are the existing rating scales in our system. So all these things are going to be displayed in this drop down menu, and based on our requirement, we are going to select one rating scale, and we are going to integrate. This is how you are going to integrate your rating scale with the corresponding plan template, guys. So when you're going to launch this performance plan template to the users, right, they will be able to see the ratings that you have configured here in the review scale. So only those ratings will be showed to the users, and the description that whatever you maintained over there, right, in the rating scale, review scale, that those are the descriptions that the end users are going to see, guys. Okay, so that is how you are going to configure your rating scales and how you are going to integrate your rating scales. And we have also seen like how an end user is going to look like from an end user perspective, how the rating scales are going to look like, right? We have seen those things. And coming to the other thing, your roadmaps. So what are your roadmaps? Roadmaps are nothing but they are
Raghu,
yeah.
Raghu, I have a
my
question.
screen frozen.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that step? Sorry.
Raghu, I need to ask you, when you save that, is that assigned to a particular group of people or it just goes out to all the employees?
No. We haven't launched that to the group of employees yet. We are just doing the configuration motion.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, let me repeat that, guys. 1 second. If you go to your performance management module under your admin tools, go to the manage templates. Click on the manage templates and go to the corresponding module that whatever you are interested, go to the template that you are interested or configuring, and under that particular template, go to the general settings, guys. Go to the general settings. Here you can see here, and this is the place where you are going to assign the required rating scale to your plan template. And in this case, that plan template is nothing but the performance plan template with the name 2014 CSV performance management template. So whatever the ratings that you kept in this rating scale, right, they are the ones that the end users will see whenever this template has been launched as a form to their user accounts, guys. Is that clear, Shiva? Okay. So coming back to the other topic that we were discussing. So the other thing that we are going to discuss is the route maps, guys. So what are your route maps and how they are going to help us is nothing but route maps are going to provide similar kind of functionality of your workflows, guys. Say if you talk about SAP, right? So we know like how workflows work, how workflows function, right? So even the route maps are going to provide similar kind of functionality, but the way we are going to configure your route maps in your SuccessFactors system is far simple than how you configure the workflow in SAP R3, guys. And it's pretty simple, guys. And let me show you an existing route maps and I'll show you how they are going to be useful. And let me, so in order to access or start configuring your route maps, you have to go to your administration tools and go to your company settings. Here you can see modify, not this one, guys, 1 second, manage route maps. You can see there is an option called as manage route maps. Click on this or select this manage route maps. And if you go to view your route map list, guys, and here you can see these are the existing route maps in our organization, or at least these are the things that has been currently available in our organization. You can just see here there are a lot many route maps created in our system. I don't know, like people started just creating it and they didn't even provide the name, proper names also. Yeah, that's fine. So, and you can see there is an option to create a new route map, or you can just go ahead and edit an existing route map as well, guys. Let me show you how the existing route map looks like. Then I'll create a new route map, guys. I just selected one route map with the name comp, and this is how your route map is going to look like. It's pretty simple, guys. Understand this. So what your route map is going to have is like, it is going to have only 3 stages. You can see here there is a modify stage, and there is a signature stage, and there is a completed stage. And what you are going to configure in these stages is nothing but you are going to define the steps, guys. And how these steps are going to be useful to you is, the steps will tell you how a form should move from one user to another user, after that where it should move, after that where it should move, like that. It will define the sequence of steps how your form is supposed to move in your organization. Say if we have a, let me take an example, guys. Say you have a performance management form. Say there is an employee 1 and there is a, his manager is employee 2, and say there is a HR manager, and say she or his name is like EMP3. And usually, like in your performance review, what happens is, like, say your performance form is going to be launched to the employee, right? So this is where you are going to do the self-review or self-evaluation. So after that, once you are done with your self-evaluation, you will be sending the form with the updated comments and with your own rating to the next step. And the moment you send this form to the next step, right, it is nothing but, say, usually it happens to go to your manager, right? So it will be available in the manager inbox for the manager evaluation. And this is where manager will complete his manager evaluation and provide his comments, provide his comments and ratings, etc., whatever it may be. And once the manager done with the manager evaluation, say if the form is supposed to go to the HR manager to further review, say here you can see HR manager review, where HR will review and approve the ratings or the comments or whatever it may be. See, so you are interested in moving your form according to these 3 steps. Say if it is this is your case. So how you are going to configure this in your, so in order to move this form in these steps, right, you have to configure a route map, guys. And in the route maps, you have to define 3 steps. One step is your self-evaluation, the second step is manager evaluation, and the third step is HR review, guys. Like that, based on your requirement or necessity, you can go ahead and create n number of steps, guys. And let me show you here in the system. You can see usually, like, all these steps, wherever the people you need people attention or you need people to work on that particular form actively, you are going to keep those steps in the under the modify stage. Here you can see employee review, and here you can see review salary plan. Something is there, but here usually to be like.
Raghu, can we have dynamic steps here?
Pardon, what it is, Srini?
Dynamic steps.
Dynamic struts?
Dynamic steps. Like under modify stage, if I want to have dynamic steps, can I have that, or it is fixed?
No. It is not dynamic. It is going to be static things, Srini. Always your roadmap is static, guys. But you are going to assign it to a role. So wherever the people says, people might be moving from one role to other role, then your roadmap will automatically send the form to the next step, whoever is there in that role. Instead of sending it to the static username, right, it will send to the role. But these steps, whatever you are seeing here, right, they are pretty much static, guys. Whatever the things that you are going to configure, yes, those things only will be, the form will move according to those steps only. Srini, does it answer your question?
This is Sri.
Yeah, Sri.
Yeah, so one level manager is good because I think it will directly pull out from your employee profile who is your next level manager. What if it's like a first level manager and a third level manager or second level manager?
Yeah, you will be able to do that. Yes.
So how does system knows that who's my second and third level manager?
Yeah. I'll show you where it does. If you just look at it here, you can see here, based on the configuration that you have, let's say manager, second level manager, if there are matrix manager, HR reps manager, or otherwise you are not interested in following these roles, you can just go ahead and keep on the user also.
Yeah, but the second level manager, I don't think maybe in your profile, in employee profile, does it have a column called second level manager, or internally it knows based upon first manager?
No. Yeah. System knows based on your manager, right? To whomever your manager is reporting, right? System calculates in that fashion, Srini.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see here I'm talking about the steps, right? Usually like the things that where you need attention of the people, or where people are supposed to go ahead and work on that particular form, right? You will keep all of them in the modify stage, guys. And the things where you just need their sign off, you are going to keep such kind of steps under the signature stage, guys. So your active things or the intelligent things will go into the modify stage, and the things that you just need sign off from them goes into the signature stage. And here you can see there is a completed stage as well. The completed is nothing but all the forms. Whenever a form is going to be moved from all these steps to the signature steps, again it is going to sit in the completed stage, guys, which means that all the steps has been completed successfully and it is completed in your organization. No one is supposed to take any action, and it is finally completed, and it, as though it is closed in your system, right? It just exists as a document, guys. So what you are going to configure in your steps, I'm talking about your modify stage or the signature stage and completion stage. So what you are going to keep in your steps? So basically you are going to just define the frame here, guys, how your form should move, right? You didn't assign any form here. You are just defining a step, and these steps should be assigned to your, again, to one of your templates that you are interested, guys. So but what each step is going to have, say usually when you are doing your employee review, right, it should be like, say, 1 second guys, it is manager review.
Raghu, is this modify stage, signature stage, and completion stage, are these the only 3 standard stages that is available, or we can also add stage text?
No, stage we will not be able to add, Smita. And in fact, this stage doesn't carry any importance. Your things that what are the steps that you are going to create, right? That is what is the intelligence things, or that is what you are interested. Or in fact, if any requirement comes, right, you have to see that which step you have to add.
Fit in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you can see here,
Raghu, are the roles pre-populated in here, or do they?
What are the roles that we configure in our system, right? They are going to be the ones that you see in this drop-down list. I'll show you whenever the pick list management comes, right? I'll talk about how to build your pick list and where and all they are going to reflect, right? I'll show you motion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So what each step is going to have? Each step is going. It's nothing. Guys, it's very simple. If you see here, what each step is going to have, like the step name here, employee. So you can see I'm talking about the step 1 here, guys. So what it is going to be, the step is nothing but employee is going to do the self-evaluation. Say it is going to be like employee self-evaluation, self-review. And description, if you are interested in keeping some description, yes, go ahead and keep some description. And the other thing is step type. This is little bit important, and you can see here whether in this step, say when you launch the performance form to the employee, whether only the employee is going to work on that particular form, or a group of people are going to work on that particular form. Usually if it is a performance plan template which is having the individual goals, then only a single user is going to work on that particular form, right? So you have to select the single role here. Select the step type as single role. Say if you are assigning a form with group goals, say there is a team and the team is going to work on all those goals. In that case, you can select either the iterative option or the collaboration option. And the difference between these two things means that at a high level, either iterative or collaboration helps a group of people to work on a single form, guys. Let me repeat that. Your iterative and collaboration are the kind of steps or step types which will help a group of people work on the single form. Whether they are working simultaneously or working one after the other, that's a secondary, but it will allow a group of people to work on the form. And especially when you talk about iterative, right, you can see here iterative is nothing but at a given point of time. Only the form is going to be pending with one employee, and that employee is the one who is going to own that particular form, and he is the only person who can update or edit that particular form, provide his comments, or if at all ratings are there, provide his ratings, whatever it may be, and he is the one who can send the form to the next step, guys. So if you see here, the moment I selected iterative, let me show you single user how it is. You can see single user, only single, you can assign only single role, which means that the people who are there in that particular role can only work on this particular step here. Whereas when you go to the iterative, right, you see more than one role being displayed here, and if you are interested in adding some more roles, you can just go ahead and keep on add these roles, guys. But how this is going to help is, like, say there is a group goal, or say there is a what do you call, it's not a group goal, guys, say there is a cascaded goal. Yeah, say there is a cascaded goal, which means that has been enforced by your management, top level management, and it has been cascaded to your manager, and it has been cascaded to you as well. Say on that particular goal, you are supposed to work on that goal. At the same time, once you are done with respect to that particular goal, if you want to, your manager is also supposed to work on that goal. You can see here, and after that his manager also was supposed to work on that particular goal. But who is going to work for the very first time whenever it is going to launch the form, right? Say administrator is going to launch the template as forms to the users. So remember that, guys, I'll show you how to really go ahead and launch your forms. I'll show you in today's class itself, so that it makes complete sense to you. And when your administrator is going to launch the form, so first it should be launched to whom? So that is important, right? Your entry user going to tell the same thing, guys. So in this particular step, so the form should come first to the employee. So whenever an administrator is launching the forms, he will select a couple of users, guys, whether based on their usernames or based on some criteria like their country or division, department, whatever might be the criteria, but he will be launching straight away to the employees. So you might be one of the employee, so you are the entry user. So which means that you have to work on the form as a first thing. And whenever you are done with the form, say whenever you are done with respect to the work that you are supposed to do on that particular form, you can send the form to the next step, and the manager or second level manager can work on that particular form. And if at all they are interested, they can send back the form to you as well, guys. But ultimately, when say these three guys has been completed work, it should move on to the second step, right? See, right now we are in the single step, we are doing all these things. But ultimately, at the end of this step, on some day, you have to send the form to the next step, so that your manager can review, or his manager can review, or whatever it may be. So who is going to send the form to the next step? Who is authorized to send the form, or who will see the option to send the form to the next step is the one that you are going to mark as exit user, right? Well, it can be an employee, or it can be a manager, the second level manager. The one who is going to mark as has been marked as exit user, he is the only one who can send the form to the next step, guys. So it's pretty simple, guys. Just let me repeat it again. So iterative is nothing but basically you are allowing more than one employee to work on a form in a particular step simultaneously, but it's not actual simultaneously, but one employee at a time on that particular form, and that employee should send the form to the next person, and that is when the next person will be able to work on that particular form. And but who is going to be the first user to work on this step is the user that has been marked as entry user is the one who is going to work on the form for the first time, and who can send the form to the next step is exit user. Whoever has been marked as the exit user, they are the ones who are going to send the form to the next step, guys. We'll see like how it is going to work. And here the only difference is people can work simultaneously on the form, guys. And at least so far I haven't used this configuration of collaboration, but it is there with SuccessFactors, and that is the reason like you are seeing this configuration here, guys. And the thing, the basic difference with respect to iterative and collaboration is nothing but you can, let's say you are going to add 3 roles here or 3 people here. 3 people can work on that particular form simultaneously, guys. There is no problem at all. People can go ahead and start working on the form, and who can send the form to next step is nothing but you can see the one that you marked as the exit user, right? Because as everyone is simultaneously working, the moment an administrator is going to launch the form is going to be launched to all the 3 employees, guys. And they can work on their comments. System will take care of like how to update or synchronously update the data, and anyone who has been marked as exit user is the only user who can send the form to the next step, guys. And if you talk about the other option that you see in a single step is, these are very important options, guys. You can see here, they are very important options. And you can see here, say an administrator might be launching the form, say let me take an example here. Say your performance cycle starts on 1st Jan 2015 and it is supposed to end on like say 31st December 2015. Say an administrator might be launching the forms on December 15th of 2014 itself. To meet his deadline, he might be launching the form before the starting of that particular cycle itself. But whether the system should allow you to start your work. So the form has been available with you, it has been launched to you. Whether you are supposed to work on the form from December 15th or not is going to be decided by these things. So when you have to start working on the form is like this thing. Say if it is December 15th, 2014, yes, you will be able to work on the form. But say if it has been configured like Jan 1st, 2015, you will not. So you will be able to see the form, but you will not be able to start work on the form, guys. You see the form has been launched to you, and you will not be able to work on the form, guys. So that is the difference, guys. So this is the date, that is when you will start working on the form, guys. The start date. No, sorry, guys. Just so this start date will help. I mean to say this start date is the one that system is going to keep track, and say if your admin has launched this form on December 15, 2014, right? Yes, you can work on that particular form starting from December 15th, the moment the form is available with you. But whatever that I mentioned earlier, right? It is true if they are going to select this N4 start date, guys. Let me repeat that, guys. I'm really sorry about that. Your start date, right? Whatever the start date that you are seeing here, yes, that is the ideal system start date. That is when you are supposed to work. But say your administrator has launched the form to you on December 15th itself. So the form is available with you, say from December 16th. You can go ahead and work on this form, update your comments, and you can start working on that, guys. But say if this checkbox has been selected, N4 start date, you will not be able to work on that particular form unless your current date is either this start date or current date is greater than this start date, guys. So that is how your start date and an N4 start date are going to be helpful to you, guys. And this exit date is the date when you are supposed to complete that particular form, and you can send the form to the next step. Now you can send the form to next step before the exit date meets, but I'll tell you what is the difference between this thing and the due date. So, but this is ideally this is when you are supposed to send the form to next step. And you can see the other thing is like due date. Here you can see due date. Say you are supposed to send the form on, let's say the exit date is 2015. Let me. And so you can see you are supposed to send the form to the next step on 31st of December 2015. But because of some reasons or because you are not available, you might have forgot to send the form to next step. But ideally, as per the process, the manager should receive all the forms, all the performance evaluations of their team members by certain date. So in order to address that, right, how you are going to address that is like you have a due date option, guys. So you can configure your due date stating that, say that if the due date is like Jan 5th of 2015, So it is like this. So once say you cross your exit date and say I am the person who forgot to submit my performance evaluation, and the due date came here, right? So on the due date, the system can take two actions, guys. You can see here, the moment you select these things, the system can take two actions. One is like send the form. Say if employee doesn't finish the form or submit the form by 5th of January 2015, send the form automatically, whatever the stage that is there, whether the employee has updated the self-review or he provided ratings or not, in fact anything, regardless of your validation, send the form to the next step. Whatever the next step here is like manager review. Send the form to next step. Or the other option is like send the forms that pass validation, which means that the forms where the mandatory details has been provided, the field that has been marked as mandatory has been updated, send only such kind of forms to the next step. So you can take both either of these actions, and the form is going to be automatically sent to the next step, guys.
So if the employee has not completed the self-evaluation, it will actually automatically send it if it's always sent regardless of validation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can see there is some options called as show advanced options. And these advanced options nothing but like what kind of text that you want to keep on your buttons. When an employee, let me show you from an end user perspective how it looks like. Then I'll come back here. So let me proxy into Marla Gibbs account.
Can you please scroll your screen up so we can see them at the bottom because it's not visible?
No. Let me. I'll come back to that particular section motion because I want to show you how an end user is going to look like. For an end user, how the route map is going to look like. Let me show you that. Then I'll come back to that particular configuration.
Thank you.
And here you can see, guys. I don't know who is SK, guys. A lot of echo is coming from your side. Okay, and here you can see on your, this is one of your performance plan, guys. Again, the performance form, sorry. So on this performance form, you can see here there is a section called as a route map, and you can see this route map got two steps, guys. That's it. One step is alternate route user step, and another is completed. So one is the only thing that is active, or that is the thing where user is supposed to take an action. Let me show you another one, guys. It doesn't carry much steps here. Let me go to another one. Let me select this. And here you can see there is a route map, and you see three different steps. One is complete salary planning, another is compartment review, and the last one is going to be completed step. And here you can see the current step, wherever that particular form is pending, right? It is currently pending with the Marla Gibbs, and you can see the step name is complete salary planning, and the due date is 10/17/20. The salary passed, guys. Don't worry. But you can see the other step is compartment review, and the role that you added is the user, and the due date is 10/17/2014. So that is how an end user is going to, that is how the roadmap is going to look like.
Shiva, I don't see your screen. The screen got frozen completely.
Is the same thing with everyone, guys?
And Raghu, your voice is breaking. No, it's not audible. Very clear.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, Victor can see my screen. Anyone else, guys?
I can
Anyone?
see it.
Okay. What about voice? Are you able to hear my voice fine today at least?
Sometimes it's breaking, Raghu.
Mm-hmm. No, sometimes it might be because I might be.
Your voice is okay.
No, now just from past 3-4 minutes, it started breaking again.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
it was fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah. So I just want to show you how the roadmap looks like for an end user, guys. You can see Marla Gibbs is an end user and employee. This is how it looks like for an end user. Coming back to the configuration that we were working on, go to your administration tools. And if you go to your admin tools, and go to company settings, manage roadmaps. Shiva, not sure, Shiva. It might be you are the only person who was not able to see my moving screen. Might be an issue at your side, Shiva. If it is with everyone, guys, yeah, that might be my problem. Shiva, if you don't mind, can you log out and log in again? And here you can see, let me take one existing route map and then I'll show you what are the things that you see under your advanced options or advanced settings.
Raghu, your voice is breaking now.
Yeah, Raghu, your voice is breaking up.
I know, guys. Might be the system is so intelligent that whenever we talking, right, system voice is breaking up, it started hanging again. Is it fine at least now? Hello?
Yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you go to a particular step, there is something called as show advanced options. So what it is, like you can see step introduction and move over text. So what kind of text that you want to keep for your starting step, and whenever they click on that particular button, right, on that particular button, what kind of text that you are supposed to show to the users, and step name after completion. Say once you complete your all the stages, you can see here. So what is the name that you want to show on that particular form? Where you say if you are interested in marking that particular form with a different name other than completed, you can go ahead and keep your own text. And if it is going to be iterative, right? So when you are selecting the iterative option, when you are moving the form, guys, if you don't have any question, just mute yourself. Okay? Sorry, don't mind. But
Raghu, again it started.
Raghu, you're waking up again.
No, everyone open their connections, guys. That is the reason, like one of the reason you see a lot of echo, but you don't hear my voice. Yeah. 1 second. Let me mute everyone. Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, it's clear now.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, that's the reason. You can see, guys, I mean, I don't say that that's the actual reason, but whenever people open their audio connections, right, you see a lot of noise and you don't listen my actual voice, guys. So that is the reason explicitly I am keep on muting people, but I don't see them as muted. They are going to unmute themselves. Just no, I said like, no problem, guys. Unmute yourself. Go ahead with your question. Just mute it after that. Or in fact, like if you hold your question right for at least for few minutes until I complete the topic, I can take all your questions at the end of that particular topic or at the end of the session, guys. And I'm talking about like if it is going to be an iterative step. So when you are sending the form from one employee to another employee in the same step, what kind of step name that you want to show to the users? This is the place where you are going to configure that particular text that you are interested, guys. And you can see here whether it is step mode is full edit or comment only. Whether you want to allow in this particular step, whether you want to allow only the employee to comment, or if you want to make the employee to go ahead and edit the text or the different sections of your form, is going to be, it's kind of restricting users whether they can have the edit options with respect to all the components of that particular form or not, is going to be controlled by this particular step mode, whether it is comment only or edit option. And whenever you are going to say, if you are in a particular step, and whenever you want to move to the next step or whenever you want to exit from that particular step, what kind of label that you want to keep on the exit button? So this is where you are going to keep. It's all like labeling, and you can go ahead and give it a try, guys. So what kind of text that you keep, go to that particular, launch that particular form and see like where that particular text is coming, and it's like a usability to the users. That is what you are going to keep, or you are providing more information to the user with the kind of labels that you are interested, rather than going with the same or the standard labels provided by SuccessFactors. So you see these things, but whenever you want to create, so right now, at least so far, whatever we have seen, it is an existing roadmap. Say if you are interested in creating your own roadmap, how you are going to do that? See, you are going to click on add roadmap, and here you can see there are two options, guys. One is build your own, and another is from the choose from library. So choose from library is nothing but you can add one of the existing standard SuccessFactors provided some roadmaps, guys. If you are interested in adding those roadmaps to your instance, yes, you can go ahead and add them using the choose from library option. Say if you are not interested in using the standard SuccessFactors provided roadmap, rather you want to build your own, then the other option is the correct one, guys. Build your own roadmap here. Let me show you one by adding from the library.
How many roadmaps, or is that something a user has to create, or something by the list of roadmaps will be provided by SuccessFactors will be available?
No. Usually, nothing. When you're going to configure the system for the first time, right? You don't see any roadmap. Configure the system for the first time, right? You don't see any roadmap. Anshumita, it's you. Anshumita, it's you. So when you configure the system for the very first time after your go live, you don't see any roadmap in your system. Even though they are standard, you have to go ahead and add them manually from the standard SuccessFactors library, guys. And you can see based on the modules that you activated, SuccessFactors has provided standard roadmaps based on the modules that you activated. As you can see right now in our system, we have 360, we have compensation, we have performance, and all these roadmaps associated with respect to the corresponding module. The standard SuccessFactors provided roadmaps corresponding or relevant to that particular modules are available here.
Hey Raghu, how to add from standard?
No, I'll show you. I'm here, right? I'm showing you.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to these things, choose from the library, and these are all the standard SuccessFactors provided roadmaps. Let's say if you are interested in adding a roadmap, say of compensation module, and here you can see the description will tell you whether this roadmap will meet your expectations or your requirements or not. If you see here, is the compensation, COMP compensation, and you can see in the compensation, second and third level managers and HR approval is required, which means that the compensation form that employees are working or you are supposed to create utilizing this roadmap can go through the manager, second level manager, third level manager, and then HR. So it got 4 different steps. So likewise, based on that, right, you can see here, you can also read this text, guys, which will give you good information to determine whether that particular roadmap you can use for your requirement or not. Say I am interested in adding this particular roadmap. Select this particular radio button here, and you can see there is an option to add to my instance. And what is the name when you are adding to the instance? Let's say this is going to be like February comp roadmap. Select, give your own name and add that particular roadmap to your system, guys. Which means that from the standard SuccessFactors library, you are adding to your organization instance. So you can see here everything has been populated by default here. So this is coming up from your standard library, right? That is the reason you see everything has been populated. Click on that. Everything has been populated. These dates, yes, you have to provide those dates because library, standard SuccessFactors library doesn't know what is your dates, what are your requirements, right? You have to go ahead and populate this start date, exit date, due date, all those things, guys. And let me do one thing. I'm going to employee. Let's say it is starting from 11 and exit date it is sometime 26. Date is, due date is exit 28. And this is my first step. And let me save this. And second step, compensation planning. And let me give some dates here as well. And it need not be that, guys, as though you added standard thing, you don't need to follow that as it is. You can go ahead and delete the steps that you are not interested. If I am not interested in HR review, I can go ahead and delete that. And I can save this thing. And say, I'm not interested in keeping these steps in this fashion. I want to move this to first step. I can do that. You can see here. No, I want to go with the same thing, whatever standard SuccessFactors has provided. Yes, I can do that. Or let's say in the signature step, I want to add my own thing. Let's say this is add your own dates. Or it's up to you guys, whatever you are interested, right? You can go ahead and do that. Let's say my signature step date starts in somewhere in February 28th, and it can be up to end of March. Go ahead and save that. I don't know if it's saved or not. Okay. Yeah. So you can see this is how you are going to configure your roadmap, guys. Whether it is the standard SuccessFactors provided, you can see right now we added the standard SuccessFactors provided. Let's say if you are interested in adding your own, one second, guys. I don't know whether it is added or not. Sorry, guys. Say if you are interested in adding your own or building your own roadmap, click on the build your own roadmap, and you can see none of the steps or no stages, nothing has been populated here. So it's up to you. Then you have to go ahead and create your different steps under the corresponding stage, and you have to populate your dates or the labels associated with the steps. Everything you have to configure yourself, guys. So say if you are good, yes, we are going to repeat this again when we move on to the goals and performance, guys, but I'm giving you the basics that you need to understand before we move on to the GM, PM or comp modules. Say you configured everything, you have your roadmaps, you have your rating scales, everything you have configured perfectly, everything is good. So how we are going to practically launch, or let's say second thing is like how you are going to integrate this roadmap to a corresponding template. And in order to do that, go to that particular template And in the same fashion as like how we have seen the rating scales, in the same fashion you have to integrate your roadmap to the template, guys. Say if you are going to work on the performance management template, go to manage templates option under the performance management module, go to the performance review and select the one that you are interested in. Let's say you are interested in 2015 current performance review with self review. Click on the general settings, guys, again, and you can see the roadmap that you are interested in. Let's say the one that we created is like February comp roadmap. So this is how you are going to integrate your roadmap to one of the template, and you can see rating scale and roadmap. And let's say you save this form, and so you're done with preparing. Say 1 second, guys. Goal section to an object you cannot be saved without. Please link the goal section to an object. Okay, just give me a second, guys. And just overcoming the error, guys. I want to show you the complete cycle, how you are going to launch it to the employee. See, you can see the administrator has configured this thing, right? Under the administration tools, he went to the template and he created a custom template, or he might be imported a standard template, but he configured that, he integrated the required roadmap, and he integrated the required rating scale. Everything is perfect. So, and he wants to launch this particular template, whatever he configured as per the organization requirements, to the employees. Say he is interested in launching the form to a specific division of employees. So how he is going to do that is like, go to administration tools. Remember this, guys, 2015 current performance review is the template that we are looking at. Go to company settings and launch forms is the option, guys. And if you see somewhere, let me know. Yeah, launch forms here you can see. So click on this launch forms, or otherwise go to the tool search option and select the launch. Keep typing launch forms option, guys. So the one that you are interested, so the one that we just configured, say as though we configured it from scratch, say this is the one that we are interested, or we have configured just now. And here you can see there is a description and the things that you have configured so far, how many steps, sections are there, what roadmap that you integrated, what rating scale that you integrated, everything you are able to see there. And click on next, guys. This is nothing but this is how you are going to launch the form to the users of your organization. So click on next, then you will understand the complete process, guys. So when you want to launch the form to the employees, whether it is today or at a later point of time, and if it is going to be like a recurring, how frequent this form should launch to the employees, whether it is every 3 months or every 6 months, you are interested. So let's say I'm going to launch it straight away. Select the now option and click on next. So review period, what is your actual performance review period, whether it is related to the last calendar year or this calendar year or custom. Custom is nothing but you can go ahead and create your own dates. Let me say it is going to be 1/1/2015 to 12/31/2015. And due date for completing the entire form. It's not individual steps, but in the entire form. Let's say you want, and here this is the important, or this is where you are going to configure or tell to the system to whom you are interested in launching this form. Whether you can see here the option is like there are 126 active employees in this system. Whether you are interested in launching the form to all the 126 active employees, or only one employee, or a group of employee. It's not one employee, guys. Here you can go ahead and add the user names here. Let me see whether that is correct or not. Oh, yeah, it's one user at a time. Let's say you want to add one more. Like that, you can keep on add. Say, I don't want to do that. I want to launch it to a group of employees based on certain criteria. And you can see this is the criteria that is allowed. Let's say I want to launch it based on location. Let's say our division. I can go ahead and select the division. What division, to which division I want to launch. Say if it's administration, I can go ahead and select administration. Come down, and there are 12 matching employees here. You can see here. And who are they? Click to view. These are the employees who are matching my criteria. Or let's say I don't want to go to one employee, so that we can easily verify, guys. And let's say the other employee to whom I will launch is like
So Raghu.
Yeah.
So if you want to copy paste, like if you get in a list of employees in a Excel sheet, like HR comes up with that list, right? Special criteria, executives or non-executives, whatever it can be. They come with special criteria of like around 500 people, right? So there is no a concrete rule saying that these guys belongs to a particular department. There are different combinations that Excel sheet has been provided to us. So can we copy and paste it? Can we upload it? Is there any way?
You don't have this option here, guys. While launching the forms, you don't have the option. I'll tell you, there is another option while you are going to work on the forms. I'll tell you how to do that. You can create, it's again like you will not be able to upload a spreadsheet into the system. But again, you can create your own group. You can see this is pretty much limited right here. But this is going to be wide open. Based on the custom fields or whatever it may be, it is wide open. But here you will not be able to, in fact, like in SuccessFactors, what are the requirement that you told, right? Uploading couple of users that you are interested from a spreadsheet, right? It's not possible until unless the solution is you have to look back at your metadata framework where you can create your own objects, and that is where you can keep those information, guys. But standard SuccessFactors doesn't give you any solution for that.
So indirectly we have to go and see whether how can we create a group and just create a group
exactly.
for particular that. Okay.
Yeah. So let's say I am interested in launching the form to these 4 employees here. Click on next, and this is summary of whatever the things that we have seen so far, guys. The launch date, review period, select employees, summary. And you can see as you are launching the forms, so you are expecting some actions to be taken by the employees, right? If you are interested in sending the form or email to the employees, you can go and select these things so that people can receive email and they can look at their system inboxes to find there is something pending from their side, and they can go ahead and update that particular required information or take the action on that particular form, guys. And you can see the launching of the forms is in progress. So that is how you are going to launch the rating scale, route map, whatever we have created so far, right? We integrated everything. I know like we haven't created a template as such from scratch, but I'll show you that in the further sessions, guys. But to make sure that how your rating scale, route map, everything is going to be useful, right? This is what you are going to do, and this is how you are going to launch the form. So say the launching of the forms is successful, and ideally the HR administrator, Rupesh and Hari and someone else is supposed to have their forms, right? If you go to the performance plan, because we launched the performance plan templates, guys. If you remember, guys, we went to the performance management module, and that is what we have done. You can see here, this is the one that we launched, and it has been launched on 12/13 today. You can see here, assigned date 12/13, and these are the days that we configured with respect to the due dates and entry start date and the final exit date. Click on this, and you can see, if you remember, guys, this is my first step, HR compensation worksheet setup, and this is my second step. And in the second step, you can see it's an iterative mode, iterative step type. Remember, guys, if we look back at the route map that we added from the standard SuccessFactors library, it was an iterative. And you can see HR. This is what the route map that we added. And that is the reason, like you can see under the route map, these are the 3 different steps, and the last is the completed step. So that is how you can see.
Raghu,
Raghu,
I have a question. Like when we went to collaborative step, you said that when the admin he launches a form, all 3 people, employees manager, and the second level manager, they start working simultaneously on the same form.
Yes, it's not on the same file. System will keep differentiate because each form is independent, right? When you go ahead and look at the three users, right, you will see 3 different forms. I mean, it's the same form. I mean, the data look like same thing, but you see here it is pending with employee. Say here it is pending with my account, right? In that case, that will be pending with another user. Say Raghu is one guy, and say Hari is one guy, and Krishna is one guy. Say it might have been launched in a collaborative fashion. So when it is collaborative, right, form will available in my account. At the same time, form will available in Krishna's account. At the same time, form will be available in Hari's account as well. They can go ahead and update that. The moment they update it, right? Whenever I open the form again, yes, the data that has been updated by someone else, Hari or Krishna, I will be able to see that. But on that form, you see that will be pending with them. And you can see employee information is my information, whatever you see here, right? Employee information is my information in my account. But if you look at the same form in their account, their data will be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Raghu, you said only one person can move the form ahead. So
No, that is
Right.
one in a step. You can see here there are two people, right? But ultimately two cannot go ahead and hit the exit, move to the next step at the same time, right? They cannot do that. Only one person is authorized to move the form from this particular complete step to the HR review step. That is what I mean. But who is authorized to take that particular action? You are going to set that using the exit step checkbox in the roadmap configuration.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this is how you are going to see, guys, how you are going to launch the form. It's not only in my account. If you go to some other user account, Hari is one of the other user to whom we launched the form, right? The same form. If you go to Hari's performance module, and you can see this is the, you remember guys, this is the form name, form template name. This is the template name, and as it is being launched to, as it has been launched to Hari, right? You see it has been showing as 2015 current performance review with self review for Hari Rao, because it is being launched to Hari Rao. And so that is how you are going to take your actions or route, not actions guys, your rating scales, and how you are going to launch your forms. Anyhow, practically we are going to work on these things probably like when we move on to the goals or performance management model. That is where we are going to start configuring your templates, and we'll see like what are the different sections of your templates, what are the other integration points that you need to concentrate with respect to your templates. And that is where we'll start working on like little bit we'll keep starting working on the XML files as well, guys.
And Raghu, there is one question. Suppose I'm an employee and I have done my self-assessment.
Yeah.
And my immediate manager, he has just left the organization. So how my self-assessment will move to the second level?
So whenever your manager is moving, right? Whenever your manager is moving, system will ask you, let's say, it will ask the manager stating that how you want to manage the forms. All the existing forms that are associated with the previous manager, whether they should be assigned to the new manager who is coming into that particular position, or they should be with the old manager only, so that they can take the action at a later point of time, going into that particular forms manually. Let me show you how it looks like.
Okay, so that is taken care of by the XML file?
No, it's not XML file. It is the standard SuccessFactors platform is providing that functionality.
Okay.
Yeah, someone else is asking question, guys.
Yeah, Raghu, in this scenario, can't a proxy manager be assigned?
Yes, you can do that. Proxy manager can go ahead and work on that.
Hey Raghu, I have a question. Can you just show the launcher again one more time?
Sure. Yeah, 1 second. Yes, let me show you. Don't keep your personal email IDs here, guys, in the in your user profile. If someone is going to look at the system, right, they will be able to easily find out like who is working on the system. So launch forms. Yeah, this is the one, guys. Let's say if you're interested in this thing. You want to know the navigation? Yeah, Rupesh, yeah.
So under company setting, we don't see launch form option there.
It's not under company settings. It's under performance management.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the one. Or you just go ahead and start typing these things, launch forms.
Hey, Raghu.
Yeah.
I missed something at the initial part. Is there any activation required from provisioning system?
No, nothing. With respect to your roadmaps, rating scales, launching forms, no, there is no activation from your provisioning system. But when we talk about goals, performance, right, yes, those modules need that. But with respect to these things, whatever we discussed today, right, there is nothing. In fact, if something is there, right, I'll update you guys. Don't worry.
Okay, so for performance management, this complete section, there is no activation required from provisioning system.
No, performance as a module, yes, you have to activate that in the provisioning system.
Okay, because I'm sorry, I missed the initial part. I was a little late. So
No worries. Nothing. There is no provisioning changes required with respect to your rating scale or roadmap or whatever it may be here. At least the things that we discussed today, right? They are independent of your provisioning system. They are available by default in your instance.
Sandy. Okay.
Yeah, Sandy. Yeah.
So,
Raghu,
this is free. So when it says that your instance is not licensed, so does that mean that it's not been enabled on the provisioning, or
it can be either way. It can be either way. Either your instance is really you haven't brought the license, or you might have brought the license, but you haven't activated that particular module in the provisioning system.
Okay. So is it just a one checkbox where it enables that functionality?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Raghu, can you tell the difference between the start date and enforce start date again?
What it is? Start date and enforce start date.
Yeah, the difference between them. I could follow the enforce start date, but I have questions on the start date thing. When you in the step configuration.
Start date. Yeah, let me repeat that. Start date. As I told you the same example, let me take the same example. Say your cycle is going to start from Jan 1st to December 31st. And yes, before that the administrator has to start configuring the template, right? That is, if that is the case, then only he will be able to ready by Jan 1st and he can launch the form to the employees. And starting from Jan 1st, they can work on that particular form. But say your administrator might have launched the form on December 28th or 27th because the other days might be holidays for your organization. So whether based on your organization requirement, whether people can start working on the form immediately once the form has been launched to their accounts or not. If say the answer is no, they are not supposed to work until unless their start date is current date or it is greater than the start date that has been configured in the system. In that case, you are going to select the enforce start date.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, and the start, if you are not going to select the enforce start date, the moment the form has been launched to you, irrespective of the date, whatever the date in the start date field, right, you will be able to go ahead and start updating the data or start providing the comments or provide your own ratings or whatever you are supposed to take action that based on the permission that has been provided to you. Yes, you will be able to do all those actions on the form.
Oh, okay. So in that case, the start date doesn't really matter, right?
Exactly.
I mean, the start date is not doing anything there.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Got it. Thanks.
Raghu, can you send
us
Raghu,
this is Shiva.
Yeah, sure, Nirmal. Yeah, Shiva.
Yeah, I missed that part. What is the difference between the iterative and the collaborative options?
Iterative and collaboration. Iterative means at any point of time in that particular step, yes, there can be a number of people in the step. Everyone can work on the form, but at any given point of time, the form, there is only one form, guys. At any one point of time, that form will be available with only one employee, and he can work on that particular form and he can send to the next employee, and the next employee is also in the same step only. It's not that you are sending the form to the next step. In the same step, you are exchanging the form between a group of people. So everyone, say if it is a group goal, everyone can provide their comments. At the end of everyone providing their comments, let's say there might be a module leader or a group leader who can send the form to the next step out of that particular step. But whereas your iterative, right? Iterative is like you have, let's say in this particular step, you might have configured 5 people. So all the 5 people have their own forms. When you go to their accounts, right, you see the form available with them. So all the people, if you go to the 5 people, you see 5 different forms. But the data is going to be the same thing. So everyone can start working on that.
Okay, so in the collaborative, like all the people can enter.
Exactly, their own comments, or they can take their own actions. And who can send the form to the next step is like only one user. So the moment they will send the form to the next step, is right, gone, that's it. The forms will not be available with anyone's inboxes. The form has been completely moved out of the steps from all the 5 user accounts, and whatever the next step, right, might be it a single step that will be available with one user, or if it is a multiple steps or iterative or collaboration, based on that, those many forms has been launched to the users.
Okay, I got it, Raghu.
Okay.
And one more question. We have all the admin accounts, right? So admin has access to proxy for all the users. Is that right?
Yes. If you are, if you have authorization with respect to the proxy management, yes, you can do that. Or otherwise, if you say, even though if you are an administrator to some other module, you will not be able to proxy into that. At least if you are a super admin, right? Yes, you will be able to do that.
Okay, but the proxy column we have seen in the import and export spreadsheet, that's only for the users, isn't it?
Yes, that is only for the users.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay guys, I'm going to stop it here for today, and as yesterday we agreed, right, we don't have any sessions on Saturday or Sunday. We'll meet on Monday at same 8 p.m. Eastern time, guys.
I have a question. So you always mention about the XML that we would have to work on when we are doing an employee center and all that stuff. I just wanted to know to what extent should we know XML? Like
Nothing.
if you don't know XML. Oh, okay.
Don't worry about that. In fact, don't even look at your XML files, guys. I am here to help you out how to understand that, what tools you are supposed to use, right? I'll help you out. No worries.
So in the client location also we can use these tools to.
Yes. They are SuccessFactors provided. They are small utility programs, not even like a big complex tools. Small utility programs. Yeah, you can use. You are authorized to use those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raghu, I cannot log into my SuccessFactors account. I don't know what's going on with it. I tried several times. Can you please reset my name and password? Because second thing is that the RAR files you sent me, I can't open them.
No, you have to install the WinRAR application, Mohammed. Sorry, Motion.
Okay.
You have to install the small WinRAR application. If you install that, right, you will be able to open that particular file.
Okay, thank you.
Raghu, this is Shweta. Can you please provide me also access to SuccessFactors?
Yeah, sure. Shweta, you don't have access?
No, Raghu, I don't have.
Okay.
It doesn't have any roles assigned. I'm unable to access anything.
One second, guys. Motion, your password is SF.
My name is misspelled over there. Yeah, sorry, my name is misspelled over there. It's MOHSIN. You're spelling it MOSHIN. My username is MOHS.
Yeah. I'll correct that now. SF at 1 2 3 4 5 Motion.
What's that?
SF uppercase at 1 2 3 4 5. Shweta, I'll create your credentials and I'll share your credentials with you, Shweta. Sorry about that.
Sure. I'm forward for it. And also, Raghu, you were telling about, if my immediate manager is no more, he just left the organization, and how the
I'll show you. Yeah. When you are moving it, right, it will ask you like how to take an action with respect to the pending forms. I'll show you that. Don't worry. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Raghu.
Yeah. Okay, Shweta. No worries. And someone else is telling that they are not able to access the system, guys. Sorry, I didn't. Srini, is it you?
Yeah, Raghu, I have access, but I'm unable to. I don't have any roles or anything. So
Admin privileges, right? One second.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me do that. User ID Srini?
T Srini.
T Srini. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you are good, Srini, now.
Raghu, I have a question. When we practice for these setting up the template, you said not to use our email addresses. What email addresses do we need to put those in there? I mean, will it work without it?
No. I'm not telling about with respect to templates. We are not going to use any emails, guys. What I mean to say is, if you go to your admin tools, if you go to manage users, right? If you go to manage users, or at least like in your UDF files, you'll see email column, right? This is where I am telling you about.
Right.
Yeah, because last time there was some problem, guys. Because
okay, I got that. Sorry, got it.
This is a cloud system, right? It's not only. I mean to say, no one is going to use that, but as it is under my name, right? My manager or my account manager can log in at any point of time. So if they look at it, right, doesn't look good or like it doesn't cause any problem, but sometimes exposing your email ID here, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah. Okay, guys. Then, I'm just going to close the GoToMeeting. If you have any questions or if you need any information, just drop me an email. Otherwise, have a nice weekend. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to download a RAR manager. What is that?
WinRAR.
WinRAR.
Yeah, WINRAR.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Raghu, man.
Hey, Victor. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Have a nice weekend, Victor.
You too, man.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, every guys. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Raghu.